A mosaic is a pattern or image made of small pieces held in place by plaster or grout. Mosaics were especially popular in ancient Rome. I'd like to show you some examples of mosaics. You can see here the little pieces that are put together to make an image. There's a little bit of space between each piece to leave room for the grout, which helps them stay in place. This rooster mosaic was made using a bunch of different colors. You can see most of the pieces are squares with a couple of triangles or a couple of other shapes kind of thrown in there. To make our mosaic, we're going to use Google Draw. Begin by going to Google Drive and then going over to the New button on the top left. Click New and go down to where it says More. You'll see one of the options says Google Drawings. Before we start our work, we want to make sure to name our document. So I'm going to click up here and I'm going to type in MOSAIC by Mrs. Ehlke. So you would put your name there, of course. Next, I want to add a background to my picture. So I'm going to right click and click on background. And I'm going to make my background all black. If you want to, you can pick a different color. I like black for all of the lines that go in between my bright colors. Next, you want to pick an image to do. So I'm going up to Insert Image and then search the web. And over here, I'm going to type in what I'm looking for, followed by the word illustration. Usually that gives you some better options. So I'm looking for an angel. So I type in angel illustration and I'm scrolling down until I find one that I like. I'm going to drag it over onto my document and put it in the middle. Now you can play around with the size of it. I'm also going to rotate it to make it so it's not just looking straight down. Whatever image you choose, you may want to be a little bit more on the simple side. If you get something that's too fancy, it'll take you forever to fill it in with the mosaics. So using the word illustration or even cartoon or clip art when you're doing your search will help you find images that aren't quite as detailed. So I'm trying to make sure that my angel fills as much of the space as possible. If you want to, you can even make it go farther beyond your space so that you don't even see the entire picture. I could have zoomed in, for example, on just the head, shoulders, and arms of this angel. I'm going up to this line tool and going down to Polyline and clicking on that. Now, as I click and then move my mouse, I make a line everywhere I click and move so that I can form a shape. And I want to make sure that I get back to the original line that I started with so that the shape is all together. I click on the paint bucket and choose the color that I would like to use to fill my shape. Now that I've selected this purple, every shape that I do afterwards will be purple as well. So I'm clicking each time I want my line to turn, and then I'm using that to make the different shapes to fill in my purple section here. Now notice I'm leaving a little bit of space in between each of my shapes. That's where the grout or the plaster would have gone in a mosaic in ancient Rome. The shapes can be pretty much any kind of shape that you want. I'm using some squares, some pentagons, some diamond type shapes, some triangles, just whatever I can kind of get to fill in the area. If you need to zoom in closer too so that you can see the shapes a little bit better or to get to some more details, you can do that as well. You want your shapes to be on the smaller side because that will make it look cooler at the end. Now if I hit my select button, which is the arrow, I can move pieces around, I can resize them, or I can just select them if I don't like them and delete them by hitting the delete button. Then I can draw a shape that I like by going back up to the Polyline tool and selecting that again. By moving to a different section, I can go ahead and draw the first shape, and you'll see that the color does not match what I've done before. So now I'll go back up into my colors, and this time I'm going to pick a blue to use to kind of match the skirt of this angel. Now I'm going to continue working in that area as well by adding shapes that don't touch each other but are pretty close together. I also want to make sure to do the area around the angel or the background. You can do whatever you would like with the background. It doesn't have to match whatever your picture is. If you want to, you can make it a different color, or you could do some type of pattern in the background as well. We want to do it so that the entire image is filled with these little pieces or the mosaics. Once you have your entire image filled, I would like to show you how we make it look like a mosaic. Here you can see I filled in all of the baby Jesus. I did the base and I did the body with lots of squares. I haven't done the hay yet or the background yet, but I just wanted to kind of use this as an example to show you. So I'm going to make sure I have the select tool, which is the arrow, and I'm going to click on the original picture that I put in this document. And all I have to do once my picture is selected is hit my delete button, and you can see it's gone, and only thing that is left are all the little pieces. Now you can hit the back button up here on the left, and there are my pictures again. So you can kind of go back and forth to check to make sure your pieces look good, if there's anything that needs to be changed, and to see what the finished product will look like. I can't wait to see what pictures you choose, and really look forward to hearing what you think about using Google Draw to make mosaics.